Hello everyone, Devin Koepkeeps, Snap Koepkeeps, Team Cardhoarder here. We won the die roll. I would like to play first. Our hand seems to be pretty good. We're going to keep even though we don't have, a lot of gas. We have a little bit, and a little bit's pretty good. A little bit is pretty good. The one card that has really impressed me in this format so far, that I've only seen this game, has been Spell Pierce. That card is like a terror. Card is a terror. We get misstepped, great. I think playing the death right there is fine, even though we could be susceptible to misstep because the advantage that it could accrue in the future could be very good. In future turns, that is. Not in, like, the distant future. Even though in the distant future, it might kill him. And killing our opponent is decent. Do enjoy killing our opponent. Okay, so here, the only thing we can do is Inquisition them, and then play our land. Hopefully we draw another land. Wow. Okay. We ain't doing anything this game. All of our spells have been countered by Phyrexian mana. I'm so glad this card got banned. It's crazy. Could you imagine if this is an actual game of Modern? You're playing like Jund or whatever, or like Infect, let's say. You're like, turn 1 Glistener Elf. They're like, misstep. You're like, okay, turn 2 Glistener Elf. They're like, misstep. You're like, okay, well, now I'm dead. So now I'm dead. I'm not going to fetch here to increase the chances of drawing a land, even though we probably are not going to draw a land because we're unlucky. And we have 17 lands in our deck. We have 21 kind of because of Chrome Mox, but I still don't want to fetch out a land to decrease our odds. We got savagely punished anyhow, so good for us. Probably another misstep. Okay, nothing. I like that. Gonna get treasure cruised here. It's gonna be a delight. Okay. If they fetch, we're gonna fetch a response in path. Okay. What are they doing? In response to the cantrip, we are going to path the... Wow, that's not a cantrip. That's a draw 3. Going to fetch a Godless here. Then we're going to path this thing. And then we're going to go about our merry way. Drew a land anyhow, huh? Strong. I guess that's not that bad. Leaves open path mana if we want to pay 2 life. I don't think I really want to pay 2 life though. And I'm just going to Liliana Plus, discarding nothing. I think I'm going to sack actually. It's different whenever I had more cards in hand, but now that I don't have a lot of cards in hand, I'm just going to make them sacrifice a creature. Even though my Liliana is probably going to get bolted. It's another card out of their hand, and it leaves us with a Path and a Lingering Souls in hand, which previously would have probably discarded Lingering Souls, which wouldn't have been great. Because now, I need something to fight this Pyromancer. Also, I could just not block because we have such a life total advantage and just try to attack him down to 0. Okay, we drew a land. It's a tap land, however, so it's not particularly great. So I'm just going to start with casting this. If it gets Spell Pierce, cool. Alright. Oh. That's fine, I guess. I'm not really hyped on that. But it's fine. I'm going to plus and discard Concealed Courtyard. He's probably going to discard a land. Because he has 4 cards in hand. Holy moly. And then I'm going to wait until his upkeep to path, I assume. Probably not going to wait till his upkeep. Probably going to wait till after he goes along with his turn. Because I want to be able to block the 1/1s with my 1/2. Even though it does lead us into a rabbit hole of getting Spell Pierce and Misstepped and everything else with their cantrips. However, we haven't drawn particularly well, and I don't know. John's. For those of you who don't know who John's is, it's a Super Smash Bros. Melee term that means excuses, for the record. Okay, we drew a Bitter Blossom. Here I'm just going to unleash my hand, I assume. Try to kill all of his threats, and then play a Bitter Blossom, and then plus. Which could be pretty okay. They could have a Spell Pierce or whatnot, but if they don't, or a Spell Snare rather, if they don't, that's pretty okay. Whoa, Spell Snare, or both. He has the World's Fair over there. The World's Fair. If our I don't know what's about to happen here exactly. I think we're going to lose, but if we don't lose, that'd be pretty okay too. Guess we can flashback our Leaning Souls at any point in time as well, which would be pretty decent. It really fights his like force of 1/1 or X1s. If the Delver doesn't flip, then that'll be excellent for me, because that means he's gonna have to throw away a creature to kill my Liliana. However, that did not appear to happen, and we're gonna die. Lightning Bolt was like probably the best draw that they had here. Yeah. We're not looking too good, I'll tell you that. Alright, well, I'm going to block a 1/1. Never mind. Alright. We're dead. We're probably going to draw a land here. The land that we've always needed. Oops, he said. Alright, we're dead. Cannot win from this point. Oh, he said oops because he played the young Pyromancer before he before he played the Lightning Bolt. Alright, so we're going to take a little different approach this time. We're going to turn into more of a taxes route and bring in a bunch of removal spells, a bunch of lock pieces like Thalia and Chalice, and then we're going to cut a lot of our mid-range things. However, the problem with our mid-range things is it's going to be a lot of 1-drops. Or the problem with our mid-range things is because we need to cut 1-drops, and we don't have a lot of 1-drops that aren't good in the matchup. Which leads us to a, how do I want to say this, paradox that I need to overcome with building bad decks. So, Because we're bringing in chalices, I want to cut the 1-drops, so I'm going to be cutting the discard spells. Because they're so low impact, because he draws so many cards that it doesn't actually matter. We're never going to be able to, like Inquisition or Thoughtseize, the amount of cantrips that he has, that they need to go. Other than that, I think the Skull Clamp should stay, and I think the Deathrite should stay. I think we're going to be cutting our Planeswalkers. Definitely Liliana. That card is not very good in this matchup. And then we have 3 cards left to cut. They could be Bitter Blossom, but Bitter Blossom is really good, the one game. We could go down to 1 Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite hasn't really been performing in this matchup, and they have a lot of removal spells to deal with it, and Lightning Bolt and Path. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna cut Deathrites and hope to take a more lock piece controlling route. Because if we can Chalice for 1, I don't know how they can win, to be quite frank. Wow, I thought this hand was really good and then we didn't have a land, so we're gonna have to mulligan. That's unfortunate. We're gonna keep this hand, but it's not particularly great. Not particularly great. Yeah, keep. I don't know what we want. We probably want action, so like Stoneforge, Skull Clamp. Probably not a removal spell. Lands, no. Yeah, just more like critters, more action, more stuff, you know? Stuff that gets us to more stuff. Because this hand looks like it's going to be fine in the early game, but in the mid game, it's going to need a Stoneforge Mystic, which is on top of our library. Woot woot! Play Overgrown Tomb tapped. Next turn, we're probably going to play Collective Brutality. Oh, what? Interesting. That must have been a misclick of sorts. But maybe not. Yeah. Okay. So they kept us 6 and... Interesting. So Thalia. That card's great. Just submit it again, I suppose. That was a pretty greedy keep on my opponent's part. Alright, mulligan on the spot. This Batterskull loves me with no land hands, man. I'm telling you. It's just the unluckiest. I guess this hand will keep, whatever. Bottom. We're probably gonna lose. Dang. I guess I have to path this now, or else we're gonna die. A misstep, that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, we're gonna die. Yeah, we're probably dead here. That doesn't matter at all. Our hand is a bunch of nonsense. Alright, so we drew another path, which is pretty decent. We're just going to path it now, not to get Spell Pierce, and then we're going to play our Overgrown Tomb tapped. Just to stem the bleeding a little bit. Hopefully they don't have a lot of more threats, because that would mess with what our game plan is going to be. If they have more threats, like we do not have the how do I want to put this? We don't have the removal spells in our hand to deal with them because we have Bloodghast and Bitter Blossoms. Chalice was a great draw. I mean, a great draw. At least I think it was a great draw, because now they can't cast any of their spells. And if they take 2 more damage off of their lands, our Bloodghasts could kill them. Because then it would give our Bloodghasts haste. Our Bloodghasts having haste is pretty decent. If they just have a smash or whatever, that'd be pretty bad though. Okay. I kind of just want to deploy our threats. Bitter Blossom being the first one. I didn't fetch because I wanted to draw a land there. Still not going to fetch because I still want to draw a land. Okay, we drew a path, which is pretty decent, except that we have a Chalice on 1. So, we're just going to play Bloodghast and then pass. I'm feeling pretty okay about this game. We have some of the lock pieces that we wanted. And definitely blocking here. He's just trying to close the game out before my Chalice takes over and my Bitter Blossom takes over. So, definitely blocking here. Okay, we're at 7. We just keep on drawing Chrome Moxes, which is... Chrome Mox is a good card, but it is not the card that we need at the moment. Okay. Man, anything would be great. Anything that is not a Chrome Mox or a 1-drop would be absolutely phenomenal here. Jit, Skull Clamp, sort of Fire and Ice maybe? Alright. Hopefully they just stop casting spells. If they just stop casting spells, that would be phenomenal. Alright, we're at 4. We drew another Bitter Blossom. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe we're going to lose this game. I actually can't believe we're going to lose this game. So if we play our other Bitter Blossom, it doesn't actually do anything. It just like takes the life off of us, so it doesn't matter. Man, this is so unfortunate. I guess it's justice because his hand last turn was pretty bad. Yeah, he's attacking like this because he knows we only have a turn to draw something. But that could be a Sword of Fire and Ice. Oh my god, please. Holy moly. Oh no, he has Stony Silence out. Ah! That's the worst. I forgot they had a Sword of Fire, or they had a Stony Silence out. Man. Also, we couldn't fetch. Once you get Tunnel Vision, you get Tunnel Vision pretty well. I don't know what the outs were in this deck, but I think it involved not these 4 cards in a row. We're going to cast all of our spells. And then we're going to concede. Dang. Thought we were going to win that too. We just had a couple unfortunate draws there at the end, but you know, in a different universe, in a different lifetime, we could have drawn you know, Death Rites and other creatures that are not Bloodghasts and Chrome Moxes and Bitter Blossoms and such, that we might have been able to win. But towards the end there, I thought that Sword of Fire and Ice might have been an out, but you know, the fact that they had Stony Silence simply lapsed my my memory. But that was fun. I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. We're going to come back for the wrap-up and see what's up. We 1-2'd, but they were all really good, really close games. Like I said before, the deck definitely needs more lands, and I have no idea what you should cut. Maybe some cute stuff. Like, I don't know much about this format, but maybe this Planeswalker package doesn't really need to be there. Collective Brutality got countered the only time we cast it, so I don't know how good that card was. Bitter Blossom was pretty okay. Stoneforge was pretty decent. Found a lot of Skull Clamps and Batter Skulls. Other than that, though, maybe the discard spells didn't need to be there, so I have no idea, really. The Chromoxes could have been good, but we just drew them at like inopportune times. But I could definitely see a world where like turn 1 Stoneforge Mystic is busted. And the sideboard here, like everything was kind of needed, even though they were designated for different matchups. The sideboard was still good, which I think is what you want in a sideboard in general. The only time we cast Thalia, it won the game on the spot, not because it was taxing my opponent, but because my opponent had no lands. You know, I could definitely see a matchup where Elspeth is great. Chalice could have been great. You know, just everything had its purpose and everything had its rhyme and reason. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video series. We may be doing another one of these in the future, but I don't really know. Might play some elves. I've always wanted to do that. Could play something based around some of the other broken cards, like artifact lands or I don't know, something else. Let me know what you guys want to see. Yeah, that'd be great. Otherwise, you guys have a great night, and thanks for watching.